Alrighty, here I am back at the world's worst movie theater, and I see there's now more than one homeless person here, and there's literally a dumpster fire in this theater. I was wondering why it was so hot in here, and I'm really starting to smell something that I probably should not be smelling right now, so let's go ahead and move on to, let's try to get back on topic here. Let's go ahead and talk about the next movie on my list of my top 30 worst movies of all time. We've already mentioned Blues Brothers 2000 and Beverly Hills Cop 3, so let's go ahead and take a look at another movie that destroys the reputation of something I really treasure in my life. So what happens when you take two of the most beloved animated cartoon characters of all time, one of the great cartoon duos of all time, and just completely ruin them by giving them their own movie? Well, you get number 28 on my list of the worst movies I've ever seen, 1992's ASIC, Tom and Jerry the Movie. Tom and Jerry the Movie is a 1992 animated movie in which features the characters of Tom and Jerry making their first and only film appearance on the big screen, and it also marks the duo's return to the big screen after 34 years. One of the big things that sold the movie to people was the fact that Tom and Jerry actually talk in this, although they've spoken in earlier cartoons. But this time, they've got the voices of Richard Kind as Tom and Dana Hill, the voice of Max from Goof Troop, as Jerry. Joseph Barbera, the co-founder and chairman of Hanna-Barbera, who created Tom and Jerry, with William Hanna, served as the creative consultant. I guess Bill Hanna wanted nothing to do with this garbage, but the popular cartoon cat and mouse are thrown into a feature film. The story has the twosome trying to help an orphan girl who is being berated and exploited by a greedy guardian. That description right there perfectly sums up everything that's wrong with this pile of shit. And no, really, this is a big steaming pile of shit. Now, it's possible that you can make a Tom and Jerry movie and make it work under the right hands. But all of the ways they could have done this is absolutely the worst thing they could possibly have done. And it tricks you at first thinking that it's going to be something like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. You got that great music in the beginning by the late Henry Mancini in the opening credits that's starting the film off on a very good, promising note. Even the first 10 minutes of the movie where Tom and Jerry our Tom and Jerry actually does work. Plus the whole idea of Tom and Jerry talking, not a big deal for me. I never thought that was a problem to begin with, especially considering, like I said, they got two really good actors to play the voices. You got Richard Kind from Spin City and Dana Hill from Max's Goof Troop from as Tom and Jerry. They fit the roles okay, and you'd think there would be something there for them to have a good movie in. But then this dog character shows up out of the blue, and that's when, to quote the movie Airplane, the shit literally hits the fan. I mean, really, once this dog character and his cricket friend, voiced by Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley, tell these two they have to become friends, and this just awful song comes up on screen, all hell breaks loose. And I wish I could play the songs for you, but of course I have copyrights and all that stuff. But to be perfectly fair, the songs themselves aren't terrible. You could tell that Mancini does put his all into these songs to make them somewhat tolerable. I mean, the lyricist is Leslie Bacuse, who did the songs for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's just that the songs in the context of the movie and the plot are really bad. The purpose of that main song is to basically take these two arch-enemies who we've liked as arch-enemies for decades and turn them into friends who will never be against each other ever again. That is the problem with the movie. They tried to turn these arch-rivals into friends to fit in this politically correct world where Tom and Jerry clearly does not work in. The best aspects about Tom and Jerry is their lust for blood and the over-the-top cartoon violence, and that's what makes the classic cartoons the classics that they are, in addition to the great animation by Hanna-Barbera. And this movie just wants to destroy everything that makes Tom and Jerry so damn special in the first goddamn place. But if that wasn't enough, then this movie wouldn't be as bad as it ends up becoming. But then, Tom and Jerry are essentially just pushed off to the side for this random-ass plot that comes out of nowhere, where the duo has to help this girl get back to her father, who for some reason looks like if Indiana Jones was played by Tom Selleck, from her evil aunt, voiced by Charlotte Rae from The Facts of Life. What's her name? What's her name from the Facts of Life? Mrs. I don't want to pause it if I have to, but I think I have to. Mrs. Garrett from the Facts of Life. That's who it was. But all she wants is to make a ton of money off her, the sleazy bag lawyer voiced by Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tony J. And then just all these random ass characters show up out of nowhere, and not the characters we know and love from the Tom and Jerry cartoons. No. Completely different human characters who serve no purpose to the story whatsoever, but are just there to push Tom and Jerry off to the side. Does any of this sound like a fucking Tom and Jerry movie? No, it doesn't. After already pushing Tom and Jerry off in the beginning of the movie just forgets about them and pushes them off to the side to these supporting characters in their own movie with the name in the title. And these sons of bitches push Tom and Jerry off to the side like what they did to Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. And we'll eventually get to that one because, we've got him coming up later on in this list. But the title characters are pushed off to the side for this pointless storyline that makes no sense whatsoever. And like I said, a Tom and Jerry movie could actually work. It's possible to make a film with Tom and Jerry as the main focus, and we eventually did get that. Sort of. We got it with the 2021 movie, because Tom and Jerry in that movie were Tom and Jerry. And when it was Tom and Jerry, the movie was very fun. I think it was a ton of fun. The human characters are not great, but they certainly aren't the worst things ever, and they're just kind of bland and generic overall. There's nothing really about that makes them stand out on their own, but there's still a hell of a lot better than anybody in this movie. But I like that Tom and Jerry movie that came out directed by Tim Story. I think it's a fun movie. It's not a classic by any means necessary, but when it's Tom and Jerry, it's a ton of fun. This movie, on the other hand, is just such a disaster on so many levels. Not just for ruining the entire legacy of Tom and Jerry, but it's just an ungodly mess of a movie. And the worst part about this whole thing is the animation in this is actually really good. And it's such a damn waste that it's wasted on this movie. The director of this is Phil Roman, who, if you're very familiar with, is the guy behind Film Roman, the company Film Roman, which did a lot of the animation for the Garfield specials. They've done a lot of work for Peanuts. They've done a lot of stuff for The Simpsons, King of the Hill, Futurama. They've done a ton of animation you're familiar with. They did Bobby's World, just a ton of animated shows, classic animated shows, and they were put on the animation for this. And you would think, Film Roman is a good company. They've made a lot of great stuff, but here, it's wasted on really good material. It's kind of like 8 Crazy Nights, except 8 Crazy Nights at least has some fun factors to it, and at least is something like that's tolerable. This movie is not. Like, Tom and Jerry the movie takes everything that makes Tom and Jerry so special and just ruins it. They relegate Tom and Jerry to supporting roles in their own damn movie. The story is nothing but a terrible ripoff of The Rescuers. The music and animation is too good for this movie, wasted on this mess of a film. And I really think Bill Hanna and Joseph Barbera should have been behind this movie together, because they were both still alive when this was being made, still very much active with their Hanna-Barbera company, to tell the animators how to do Tom and Jerry the right way. And no creative consultant Joseph Barbera doesn't count. They need to be with the production, involved in it, and not just collecting a damn check because, just they think they got the right people to make Tom and Jerry, when it's clear they did not. In this politically correct world that we're living in right now, it seems like that we're never going to get the classic Tom and Jerry that we've come to know and love as a full-length film. We got it a little bit with the 2021 film. The human characters in that movie just need to be better written. But this movie definitely was not doing this beloved duo any favors at all. It's a terrible movie. Avoid it like the plague. Tom and Jerry the movie, my 28th worst movie of all time. So, I've got to get out of here because that smell I'm smelling is, I think I know what that is. And let's just say it comes out of the back of your, back area of your you-know-what, if you know what I mean. It's brown. Yeah, I just need to go ahead and get out of here because this place is just getting worse and worse. We've still got a ton of movies I need to get to here. But if you want to hear what I had to say about the number 29th worst movie I've ever seen, Beverly Hills Cop 3, check out the link. Hit the playlist below so you can see some of those other videos I've done. And I'm getting out of here, so I'll see you guys back here next week. Maybe you might hear me with a gas mask like this. Hey everybody, I'm back. Like, I don't know, but I'll see what I can do here. But until then, see you next time. Bye.